Monday, it's the start of the week, and we are going to do 15 minutes of mobility. We're going to be focusing on the shoulder blades, we're going to be focusing on the hips, and we're going to be focusing on the glutes. So if you are ready, just get yourself over to the corner for a second. I'm just going to mute myself because I can't stand hearing my voice. I don't know how you guys do it so often. But you don't need any props today. All you need is yourself. So if you're ready, just let a few more people come online, and then we'll hit the floor and we'll get into our mobility. So we've got about 5 exercises. Sorry, I'm just checking the screen behind me. Got about 5, 6 exercises today, and we're going to be focusing, like I said, in between the shoulder blades, T-spine rotations, and then hips, hamstrings, and glutes. So get yourselves ready. Have your water nearby. It's not going to be massive on the heart rate, but the emphasis here is mobilizing you as best as possible so you can hit this week with the best possible attempt. So, any questions at any point, throw it up on the chat window. If you're watching this on record and you have any questions, stick it in the comment section below. We will get to the answer. Or we will get to the question, I should say, and we will give you the answer. So we're going to be working for 40 seconds on each exercise. It's not going to be holding poses other than one of those exercises. They're going to be moving, so the emphasis here is to move with, the focus here is to move with emphasis and range. All right, so that's the 2 things I want you to focus on today. And we're going to start with a half kneeling abduction, and it's going to be on the right hand side. So I want you to get yourselves down on the floor, 2 knees on the floor, 2 hands on the floor, and we're going to put our right leg out to the right hand side. And we're going to have our 2 hands on the floor. We're going to rock our hips back towards our foot that's up on the floor, and then come forward again. So we're pushing our hips back towards the foot and knee that's still on the floor, and then come forward again. And again, relax the shoulder blades. Breathe, breathe, breathe. In through nose, out through mouth. So we're pushing those hips back. Take your time. That's it. Good stuff. So we're going to stay on this for 40 seconds, of which we've got 7 seconds left. And then we're going to go over to the other side, and we're going to hit that groin on the other side. And let's change. Other side, left leg out to the side. Get yourself set, 2 hands on the floor, and push those hips back towards your heel that's up. And we're stretching out that groin, hamstring on the left-hand side now. And again, relax through the shoulder blades. The whole emphasis here is to increase the range of movement on this as we go. So we're going to go one more time either side after this, and I'm going to just change my body angle so you can see from a slightly different perspective how it's going. Breathe, exhale, sink into that stretch, sink into that movement as best you can. Slow, controlled, deliberate movements. And let's change. So I'm just going to switch slightly to the side so you can see me a little bit more on side. So right leg is now out to the side. 2 hands are on the floor. Left knee is on the floor. I'm going to drop my hips back towards my left heel and then come forward again. And I'm feeling that stretch as I go back heel to, or butt to heel, stretching it all the way up to the right groin, right hamstring. And it gets a little tight into the hip on the left side as well as I push back. So control that breathing and really focus on the movement pattern. That's it. We're going to go one more time on the other side, and then we're going to change it up. Okay, let's change other side. So I've got my left leg out to the side now. I've got my right knee on the floor. And we're going to push back towards that right heel with the hips. Let's go. So this is the last time doing this. Afterwards, we're going to get into the world's greatest on the right-hand side. So it's going to be starting with a high plank position. And then we're going to bring that right foot forward beside the right hand. And then we're going to do a right arm rotation to the sky. Slow, controlled. Keep focusing. Remind yourself why you're doing this. It's to increase the range of movement on the joints, tendons, ligaments, and muscles. A mobile body is a healthy body. Okay, so we're going to go into the high plank position. We're going to bring our right foot forward, plant it beside the right hand or as close to as possible on the outside. And then we're going to rotate that right arm up and around the sky, twisting through the shoulder blades. Hand back down to the plank position, foot back into the high plank position. Bring the foot forward again. And then rotate that right arm up and around. And if you need to put that left knee on the floor, that's fine. And we are constantly going back to the high plank position. And we are trying to twist as much as possible through those shoulder blades. And again, don't force the movements. Don't go too fast. And breathe, exhale as you're rotating. Okay, so we're going to set up for the left side now. So back to the high plank position. We're going to bring that left foot forward beside the left hand and then rotate that left arm up and around. And if you're anything like me, you will find you are more mobile on one side more than the other. That's all right. I always find twisting to my right is a lot harder than twisting to my left. But that's just down to a lifetime of sport and injuries. Sometimes what I like to do with the world's greatest is I actually like to use my arm or my hand on my front leg in order to push myself around a little bit more. But nothing massive. The emphasis is still on the rotation between the shoulder blades. Okay, and let's change this back to the right hand side now. So I'm bringing my right foot forward beside my right hand. I'm dropping my left knee to the floor and I'm rotating. And if you want to, keep that foot forward this time. And we're just going to rotate. And as we rotate, I'm actually looking to drop my elbow towards the floor as opposed to my hand, because that now exaggerates the stretch even more on the groin hamstring of the front leg. So we're just kind of taking that stretch to the next level. And if you can get that elbow all the way to the floor, more power to you. It's not happening for me, but I'm gradually increasing my range with every rep. And I'm twisting through those shoulder blades with every rotation. Okay, I'm now going to repeat that process on the left. So I'm going to put my left foot forward, I'm going to drop my right knee to the floor, and then I'm going to rotate all the way through that left side. And then I drop my left elbow down towards the floor on near the instep of my left foot, and then rotate back up and around. So it's a big, relaxed exhale. As I twist my body around, I'm just trying to open up the hips as much as possible. I'm trying to rotate through those shoulder blades as best I can and get a nice twist on that spine. Twisty spine is a healthy one. So after this, we're going to stick ourselves on the floor and we're going to go into 40 seconds of 90-90 hip openers. So let's stick yourself on the floor. Your feet are hip width. You're going to lean back on your two hands, not your elbows. And we're going to collapse those knees to the right. We're going to draw our right leg up and kick our left leg back until we've got a nice 90-degree bend on the left knee, a nice 90-degree bend on the right knee, and correspondingly on the hips as well. I'm then going to rotate on the two heels. So I'm now in a 90-90 on the other side. I relax my right butt cheek towards the floor for 2 to 3 seconds. And then I rotate back over, relax my left butt cheek to the floor for 2 to 3 seconds. So relax and move with focus. And we are looking to get a nice stretch all the way up the outside of that thigh towards the hip, and then that butt cheek as it sinks towards the floor. And we're just going to stay in this movement pattern for the next minute to a minute and a half. I want you to relax on the shoulder blades. Breathe, breathe, breathe. And if you have any questions, feel free to stick them in the comment section and we will get to them. Oh, I can really feel that on my left side more than my right. And I'm just deliberately exhaling and sinking my body just that little bit more towards the floor. Woo. With every stretch. And then I might have to adjust the foot placement slightly as well. So as I move, the body subconsciously moves the heel into a more comfortable position. I don't want that. I want to keep it in that kind of gnarly stretch. And you're rotating on those heels. And if you can do it, hands off the floor, go for it. I don't have that mobility in my hips at the moment, unfortunately. But I'm getting there. This is an improvement for me over the last 8 weeks. My hip was very high off the floor about that time, and I'm starting to get a lot better with my range of movement. Good, so we got 20 more seconds. And then we are going to go into a T-spine rotation in between the shoulder blades. So we're going to stay on the floor. We're going to put our legs out in front, and we're going to remove our hands as a support. Okay, so we're now going to sit, 2 legs out in front, sitting bolt upright in an L position. I'm going to put my left foot across my right, and I'm going to bend that knee and put my foot flat on the floor. I'm then going to have both hands pointing out in front, and I'm going to rotate my right arm all the way around. You can probably hear the strain in my voice as I rotate round through the shoulder blades. So I'm leading with the chin, I'm twisting my torso around, consciously making that twist through the shoulder blades, and then back to center. Relax, relax, relax. The key is relaxing into it. Don't fight it. We want to increase that range of movement as best we can with every rep. Okay, let's switch other side. So I'm going to put my left foot leg flat. I'm going to bend my right knee, put it on the outside, 2 hands out in front, and I'm going to rotate my left arm all the way around to the side, and then back. Nice work. So we breathe in as we have the hands in front, and then we exhale in a controlled manner as we rotate around behind. We're trying to sit as bolt upright as possible. I can feel a bit of tension between my left shoulder blade, and I can see a slight increase in the range of movement every time I go around. I'm not forcing it, I'm just moving into it. Okay, let's change back, other side. So we're now going to go left foot is flat on the floor over the right knee. My knee is bent, my 2 hands are out in front, and I'm rotating through that right arm all the way behind, and then bringing her back to center. And don't forget your posture, your seated posture. That's it, nice work. So again, deliberate control. And the aim here is to get you as mobile as possible for your exercise and for your training. So it's really important that you mobilize. If we don't mobilize, we can't move fully. If we can't move fully, we can't get the full benefit from our training, and we end up with pain around the body. Okay, and let's switch. Last time, I'm starting to feel that behind my shoulders, so quick shake out of the arms. Leg is flat, other foot's bent, or the knee is bent, I should say. Foot's flat, and we rotate round. Visualize your spine rotating as you reach around behind. That's it. Nice work. So after this, we're just going to get a little bit of tension, release through the lower back and shoulders, and we're going to go into the child's pose. And then from child's pose, we're going to finish with our pigeon. Excellent work. Last rotation. And rest. Okay, so over we get into our 2 knees on the floor. We're going to have our feet hip width, our knees hip width. Our 2 hands are out in front, and we're going to push our hips back onto our heels, relaxing through the shoulder blades. We're going to feel that stretch from the lower back up into the middle back, into the shoulder blades, and the shoulder blades into the shoulder sockets. So what we're looking to get here is we're letting our upper body just drop to the floor as best as possible, as best we can. You're going to feel a little bit of tension in between on those shoulder sockets. Try and just relax through that tension. So we're getting a nice stretch on the lower back. Our fingertips are walked away from us. We exhale and sink If the forehead wants to hit the floor, let the forehead hit the floor. And I want you to consciously visualize everything releasing from the lower back up into the middle back into shoulder blades into shoulder sockets. And we're just exhaling and releasing through those points over the next 30 to 40 seconds. And just breathe and relax, and sink down into that floor as best you can. So after this, we're going to go into our last exercise. It's looking at the glutes. It's going to be the pigeon, and it's going to be a 2 to 3 second hold. And then we go back into the plank position, raise the leg into the air to get a nice stretch and open up the hips. And then get that glute. Okay, so very slowly come up out of that child's pose. So we're going to go into a high plank position. We're going to raise our right leg in the air to open our hips, draw the knee up into the chest, leg goes out to the side. We let our upper body stay hips parallel with the floor, drop our weight down towards the floor a little bit, stretch out that glute, and then come back up into the plank position. Raise the right leg again, draw it into the chest, foot goes out to the left, and we drop our body weight down to exaggerate that stretch. And then come back up into the plank, raise the leg into the chest, out to the side, and back down. Keep that going. We're trying to keep it as dynamic as possible. We're only going to go for one round on each side, and we're really exaggerating the range of movement, and the emphasis should always be on the outside of that hip, that butt cheek area. So breathe and sink. We don't want to hold that stretch for more than 3 to 4 seconds. So over the course of 40 to 60 seconds, we're getting about, getting these down, 12 to 15 reps. And again, it's all about control. Okay, let's go back to the high plank position. We're going to switch now left leg high, draw it in under the body, and we drop our hips down. And as always with me, my left side is always a lot more mobile than my right. You might be the other way around. But the emphasis here is still on the left butt cheek, is still on the left hip. As you draw the knee into the chest, foot goes out to the side, and we let the body weight sink down to exaggerate that stretch. And I'm feeling that on the outside of my left hip towards my left butt cheek. Breathe, breathe, breathe. So we got another 30 seconds, and then you guys are mobile and ready to take on the day. You're going to get that endorphin release from mobilizing. If you're using this to precede a training session, you'll be able to hit the ground running, pardon the pun. And this is a good mobilizing workout if you were to do anything that involved the lower body, squats, lunges, deadlifts, or run, swimming, because we brought the T-spine into it as well. Okay, last one. And back to center. Okay, guys, so remember, focus on the range of movement and the emphasis on the area that we're trying to target. If you have any problems, any questions, please raise them. We'd rather you got them answered than going blindly. Till then, we will see you next time. Have a great day.